Stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can win one of these awesome loot crates from LUTcrate.com. This is Filmmasters. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to use 3D LUT Creator to create your own lookup tables so you can color correct your own video and images in Adobe's After Effects and Premiere Pro CS6. Now, I'm new to this program and I can tell you straight away it is very simple to use. So I'm going to show you how to apply LUTs to Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 using Red Giant's LUT Buddy. Now, the Red Giant LUT Buddy is a free plugin which allows us to apply those lookup tables to our videos in Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. Now, if you've got Premiere Pro CC, you're lucky. You have a plugin which allows you to apply these lookup tables without having to add anything. However, if you've got Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 like I do, and I know a lot of my fans on YouTube have, now down below in the description area is a hyperlink so you can go to Red Giant and download the pack, which then allows you to put the Red Giant lookup table or LUT Buddy into your presets. So we'll get straight into it. I'm in Adobe's Premiere Pro right now. I've already got my clip on the timeline that I want to apply a different color to or a different color palette to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all, to use 3D LUT Creator, I'm going to take a screen capture of the actual image. So what I'm going to do is I'm happy with what's currently showing at the moment. I'm going to come down here and export frame. And I'm going to just give it a name. So I'm just going to call this LUT image. And I'm going to save it into my 3D LUT Creator folder that I've created. I'm going to keep the format as a JPEG and select OK. Obviously, if you want to locate it into a different folder, just hit browse and find it. Select OK once you've done that. And we're going to move right now to 3D LUT Creator. So when you first open 3D LUT Creator, the very first thing you'll notice is you've got this web looking thing here on the left hand side, and you've got a big blank space on the right hand side. Now, it's fairly simple. When you look at the way it's created, it's very similar to the way we might do color correction in Premiere Pro or even Photoshop in some ways. We've got things like curves, and we can obviously select all these different icons up here. However, what I want to do is I want to jump in and show you how to actually do it. And as we're doing the actual lookup table, then we'll learn it as we go along. So the very first thing I want to do is go to File, and I want to open a file. Now, what I want to do is open up the actual file I want to make the color correction on. So I'm going to select that file that we just saved, which is the LUT image. So I'm selecting that and press open. And once I've done that, you'll notice that 3D LUT Creator has applied the image on the right hand side. Now, one thing you'll notice, I might just run through some of these little features really quickly. Let's say, for example, on the right hand side, you can see my cursor moving around. I can select the blue up here. If you notice on the left hand side, when I'm moving it around, there's a little cross. It's just over here. That little cross is indicating exactly where that color space is. Now, there's two ways to make adjustments to it. One, I can select this little web here and start making movements, and you'll notice the sky starts to change color, all those colors. The other option is I can obviously select it over here, hold the left button down on my mouse and drag it around, and you can see I'm starting to make changes up in the sky there. I can come down here and just hit the reset buttons, and that will reset it back to original. But what we want to do is I want to match a color from a particular image, and that is a really strong strength with 3D LUT Creator. So let's have a look to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to File, and I'm going to select Load Reference Image. And what I want to do is I want to select this image. Now, I've already saved these images. So one thing you can do if you've got 3D LUT Creator is go online, find an image that you want to get the look of for your video, and save that to your computer and then import it in. So once we've done that, I'm going to select Open, and you'll see it opens up here. So you've got some nice dark contrasty look to the image, nice colors. It's a bit green in some ways. What I want to do though, if I press equals on my keyboard, I can actually switch between the two images. But that's not what we're here for. What we want to do is we want to come up to Edit, select Auto Match Colors to Reference. And when I do that, this color match dialog screen appears. Now, one of the first things you would notice is it's already made a color change. Now, to have a look at that, I'm just going to come up here and select Compare. And you can see the two images. And the other one is I can come down here and select the X in Show Effect, and you can see the before and after. But the very first thing that we need to do is have a look at our image over here on the right-hand side and have a look at what we've got in the dialog box. So what I'm going to do now is come up to the degrade reference and bring it down to 100%. So what it's doing is taking all the color tones out of the original image so that way we can match it better with the image on the right-hand side. Now, the reason we do that is because on the left-hand side, we've got our reference image and we want to take the saturation out of it and all the colors and so forth so we can bring it back to the as close as possible to the original image before it had any color changes. And then what it also does is it changes the image on the left-hand side closer to the one that is on the right-hand side. Now, the other thing we need to do as well is go to Curves Degrade Method, and I'm going to change it to Mini Max Average. So that way, as you can see, the image on the right and the left seem to appear closer in their contrasts. Now, we're going to leave the area as 70 and we're going to leave the Luma range as 90. So we won't touch those because the images seem to appear as if they're matching each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to move down to the next dialog box down here, and that's our matching. Now, what we're doing here is we're going to be making some adjustments on the sliders, and it will adjust and match the images, obviously left and right. So to begin with this tutorial, I'm going to reduce all the sliders down to 0. So let's do that. And you'll see that the web behind the dialog box has gone back to the original, and it's going to allow us now to start to match the color contrast in this image better. Now, you could have simply just applied it and by select OK if you're happy with it, but we want to dig down a little bit further into the match dialog box down the bottom. So another thing to take into account when you're looking at the matching dialog box down the bottom here, all the values go up to 100%, all except for one of them, and that is the curves grading. That will go up to 200%. However, depending on your image, you really don't want to go over 100% on that one. So, and also at the moment, 0 simply means that everything on the our image is not matching. We've taken everything out of it. Let's say, for example, though, I increase the hue to 100%. What it means is it's matching 100% of what's in this image on the left-hand side, so our reference image, and it'll be changing it to 100% onto the right hand side. So by making finer adjustments all the way down, so obviously that's why it's starting from 0 and we'll work our way down, it will allow us to apply this LUT effect from the reference image to our image that we want to use in our video production. So one thing with the area, so I'll go through really quickly with these ones up here. Area is our tone range, so that's to do with our shadows. So if I want to match the shadows by bumping that up, it would start affecting the image. It's not going to affect it at the moment due to the fact that we haven't applied anything down the bottom here. So what I'll do, I'm going to start with our white balance, work our way down, and then I'll come back up here and do a bit more tweaking, and then we'll save the preset. So let's do that now. So I'm gonna have a look at the white balance. We've got that as 100% matching. Let's just see if we can drag it down a little bit. You may not notice it. It's slightly gone down in the color scale of the white balance. It's sort of gone from a bright white to a lesser white. Now, one thing up here you'll notice is the clouds are very white. So, and again, we can have a look at that by simply selecting the compare and have a look. So we've got some bright whites in there. So we'll go back to the original and we might just bump it up a little bit further above 50. In fact, we might take it up to... Actually, again, we won't go over 100% on this one. Might just take it up to 88. And now we're going to go and we're going to start playing around with these controllers down here. So let's start playing around with the hue now. So I'm going to start to slowly bring the hue up to bring it up. Now, this one here goes up to 360%. What we want to do is probably not drag it up as high, but I want to bring that to say about 160 looks all right on this image. I'm going to go to the locked range now and start to bring that up. and I think about 9 on this. Now, a lot of this is simply trial and error, or just simply looking at the image to the right hand side as it's moving the image space, and you can see the changes happening. So let's go to the hue now and start to bump the hue up. One thing you'll notice behind our color match dialog is you'll see as I'm starting to play around with these, they all start moving around our color wheel, and obviously changing the color space in there. So I'm just going to bring that up. See it about 90, and we'll go to saturation now. Now, I want you to have a look here. Down here on the marquee, you'll see that the oranges are starting to clip. As I'm pushing it up, you'll see it gets really, really bright. I don't want that, so I'm going to drag it down, and around about 39 seems to be fine, where it's not really pushing it too much. And we'll go to the luminancy range now. Now you'll see straight away the image is starting to tone. And it's got a nice, it almost makes the image look nice and crisp, which, or not almost, it does make the image look nice and crisp. I like 100% on that. It's really popping. So I'm going to leave the luminancy as 100% matching of our original reference image. And finally, we're going to go up to the curves grading. And you'll see when I go up to 200% on this, it really pushes it out too far, and it starts to blow out a lot of the detail. So if I bring it back, around about 75 matches it. So if I start to compare, so I'm going to compare both the images. You can see the nice tones in the image that we're going for, and you can start to see them coming through. So again, I can start coming back up to the analyst dialog box now, and we're going to make some adjustments now. So we've got 79 at the moment. Now, one thing I find with these sliders is if you move them around a little bit from one extreme to the other, you can sort of narrow out where you want it to be just by look. So I might just go to 95 on that one. It seems to be matching the shadows nicely. So we're going to play with the loom range now. I want you to have a look at the marquee again as I'm playing with this, just to show you what happens when we push it a little bit too far. You can also see with the taxi, it's changing colors as well. So you can see that it starts to change the color, really pushing the blues into it. We don't want that. I guess if that's a look that you want to go for, but you can see that the oranges are disappearing out of the image. So again, I'm going to bring it back up to that 90, around, yeah, 91's fine. So I'm happy with that. What we need to do now, obviously, is just simply select OK. And it now applies the look that we've taken from that reference image and put it straight into this one. And again, if you press the equals on the keyboard, it does swap between the two images so you can see it. One thing I do want to show you though, while we're working on this LUT, is I want to go up to curves. So we've got our curves up here. So I'm going to select that, and we're just going to make some adjustments to the curves. So we've got the illuminancy and we've got the master, obviously. So let's just play around first of all with the luminancy. We've also got saturation, luma, and so forth. So, but we'll just leave it as the loom, and I'm just going to come here and just going to make some adjustments just to tone it down a little bit. And you can see the image is changing as I'm doing it, only small amounts, like the sky, for example, in this image. If I bump it right up, you can see how white it gets. I guess if you want a bleach bypass look, that might be an option for you. It's not what we're going for though. And obviously this is the master over here, so you can make adjustments to the whole image here as well. So obviously to the highs and the lows. And we can also crush the blacks as well, as you can see. Okay, so what I want you to do now that we're looking at it, I want you to have a look at the image that we're referencing it to. We've got that nice, like a darky, opaly green, not a bright opal, but like a dark, actually more of a jade color, I would say. And that seems to be affecting the image that we're going for. So you can see that we've made some nice adjustments to the original image. You can come down here and press compare, and you can look side by side to see what the actual before. So as you can see, you've got a very flat image, and then you've got a nice dark image, which is matching more of the reference image that we're going for. So again, if you're wanting to tone video as such, using 3D LUT Creator is definitely a great way to find an image that you really like and apply that look straight to it, and then create your own custom LUT and then bring it into your editing software of choice. So now that we've done that, I'm just going to select compare again. Again, this is a very basic run through, but just showing you just even some of the basic features of this program can show you that you can change a simple washed out image from, you know, a before and after, and allowing you to really drive the creative look of your film that you're doing. So all I need to do now, I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to export the LUT. So I'm going to export the 3D LUT file. Now you can send it to Photoshop if, for example, you're working in Photoshop with an image. I'll go through another tutorial with you later on in regards to working in images and Photoshop, but this one's more or less creating those custom LUTs for your video. So let's go to Export 3D LUT file. And I've already got my 3D LUT Creator folder created. Now, one of the great things about this is it doesn't just simply come with one type of LUT file or extension. You can come down here and there's multiple ones. One that I found that really works well with Adobe products, you know, After Effects and Premiere Pro, is the .3DL file. So I'm going to select that. But as you can see, there's different other ones that we've got here. Houdini is another one. Abstract .CSP and all the other ones that we've got there. So, but we're going to select the 3DL. I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to call that, or I'll just leave it the same as the image, original image that we brought in. So LUT image, and select Save. And that is creating your own LUT in 3D LUT Creator. Now all I need to do is go straight into Premiere Pro, and I'll show you how we can apply this look onto our video timeline. So we're back in Adobe's Premiere Pro CS6 again. I'm just going to slide this over so we can see what we're doing. Now, I've only just got the one video on our timeline. I suggest if you download this copy from 3D LUT Creator, I'm going to obviously put the web address there so that you can download the trial version, play around with it yourself. I'm using the Pro version. It is an awesome program. And when I say awesome, I mean, one, it's easy to use, as I just shown you. Secondly, it is absolutely, I've never seen a program where I can simply bring an image in, make a LUT out of, at the same time as in the shadows and the colors and so forth, it retains that, it doesn't clip those off. So it's really, again, a very impressive program. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to come down here to another plugin. Now this plugin is from Red Giant's LUT Buddy, and that itself is a free download. You can get it from Red Giant, and I've put in the description area of the video as well, where you can go and download that whole pack so that you can import it into your folders and then start using it in Adobe's Premiere Pro CS6. As you're aware, CS6 does not allow you to apply LUTs natively. However, this plugin does allow you to do it. However, there is also another workaround in Adobe's After Effects, which I'll quickly show you after I've shown you how to apply the LUT in Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. So there is a workaround for After Effects if you don't have LUT Buddy or you don't want to install LUT Buddy, that's fine. So all I need to do is grab LUT Buddy and apply that to my image or the video on the timeline. And as you can see, we've got LUT Buddy showing up here in our effects controls. So the very first thing I want to do is come over here. There's this little symbol for setup, select it. And what I want to do is import our LUT. And there it is there. So our LUT image file .3DL is the one that we just created, and select open. So I've just imported it and don't need to change anything else. All I'm going to do is select done. So now that I've done that, the next thing I need to do is come down to apply LUT and go down to draw pattern. Now when I apply draw pattern, you'll see a color sequence appear up on the left hand side. Don't be alarmed, that will disappear. All I need to do is come down to pattern and select 3D 64, and you'll see that that pattern does get a little bit larger. And then funny enough, even though this seems to be a funny program or plugin I should say to use, all you need to do is come down to action where we've already gone draw pattern and select apply LUT. And you'll see there is our LUT now in our timeline, and it's amazing. So, you know, I can come up here before and after. That is an amazing change on a program, and I can't say it enough. 3D LUT Creator is an amazing program, and you can see that straight away. It's really made the colors match to the original image that we're after. Now, saying before, what happens if we don't have LUT Buddy? Well, all I need to do is I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to come down to my image, and this is what you'll do if you've only got Adobe After Effects and you don't want to use the LUT Buddy. What you need to do is right click on the image, select replace with After Effects composition. Adobe After Effects CS6 will open up if you've got CS6, obviously. I'm going to come up and just simply find a location where I can save this. I'm just going to call this After Effects, so AE LUT 1. Now the reason I'm calling that, let's say for example you've got 10 images on the sequence and you want to apply that LUT to all of those, it's probably a good practice to get in there and simply name each file as you're moving along. So for example, AE LUT 1, AE LUT 2, and so forth. Once you've done that, select save, and you'll see the first thing it does is going to import our video, and there it is on the timeline. It's already cut to the length, so you can see some of it's been cut off on the side, but it's matching the original clip from Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. So what I'm going to do to apply the LUT now is I'm going to apply a plugin. So I'm going to come over here to our effects and presets. I'm going to write apply, and you'll see the utility apply color LUT. So I'm going to select that and drop that straight onto my timeline. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to open up the dialog and say pretty much, where is this LUT? And there it is there. There's the one that we've created, our LUT image .3DL. So I'm going to select that, select open, and you'll see what happens. It automatically applies the LUT, and it's that simple. All I need to do is press Control S to save it. And then when I go back to Adobe's Premiere Pro CS6, which I'll do now, you'll see that what happens is that LUT has now jumped straight in. So there's a workaround in Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. Again, it is a great program. So again, the program itself is called 3D LUT Creator. So let's play this clip now and see what it looks like. So I'm currently playing the clip in full screen so you can see what it looks like in finer detail. So we've got some really nice colors. It definitely has matched very closely the color look of the original image that we're looking at. And here's the before, so you can see it's a little bit more natural and washed out. So we're jumping obviously from the original footage to the new one. Now down below in the description of this video is the hyperlink so that you can go and visit 3D LUT Creator and their website. Check out some of their tutorials. There's 3 different types of packs you can get. You can go from the basic one, which has certain tools in it, all the way up to the Pro one, which has the tools I have in this tutorial. Now, depending on what you're working on, if it's images or videos, it might be just an idea to have a look at what your workflow is. If you're just doing images, you only want one product. Otherwise, if you want all the tools so that you can do all this with no restrictions, then obviously go the Pro version. I highly recommend the Pro version because of the fact that it doesn't limit you to your creative ability. I'd like to have a big thank you to 3D LUT Creator for supplying the program. Do go to their website, do go download the demo, try it out for yourself. I highly recommend it. Have a look at the Pro version so that you can get all the functionality to it. But also, another thing I'm giving to you guys down below in the description area of this video is 3 LUTs ready to go for you. Now, they are called Endor, The Dirty Harry, and Blade Runner. Now, they're free. Try them out in your programs and go and check out 3D LUT Creator and their website. Here's last month's winner from LUTcrate.com. If you are the winner, private message me by going to the About in my homepage, send a message, and put in the following details: your name, postal address, shirt size in small, medium, or large. If you want to win a Loot Crate, which is a box full of geeky goodness, my gift to you for all of your support: just like and comment on any video on this channel. A Loot Crate will be given away once a month, and make sure you're a subscriber so you don't miss out. Winners announced at the end of all new videos uploaded. To make sure you don't miss out, turn on the notification icon, put a tick in the box to receive all notifications, and select save. The more comments, the more chances you have to win. Good luck, and thanks for watching.